Welcome back to the channel, guys. I'm trying out a new audio setup here, so if things sound a little weird or different, then that is why. So otherwise, leave me some feedback in the comments. This is VIN 2115. This is a 2017 1J7, which is atomic silver with LA30 red interior, for sale in Knoxville, Tennessee on Facebook Marketplace and in some of the F-Car for sale groups. 88,000 miles with the aftermarket wheels, 47,000 without them, with the stock wheels, 45,000. So I think the 47 includes both sets of wheels as far as I understand it. Production statistics: 328 out of the 2,348 cars for the US 49 were atomic silver, and of those, 167 had LA30 red interior. That's 7.07% of all of the US 49 production was this color combo. So like a 4 or 5 out of 10. You're gonna see them pop up, I would call it fairly regularly. For 2017, however, 58 out of the 342 cars were atomic silver, and only 30 had LA30 red interior. So it's rare because it's a 2017, but it's still kind of a middle of the road as far as rarity goes. The in-service date on this car was July 28th of 2017, and it's a pretty low option car. It has GF, which is the heads-up display. After 20, it was standard on 16s, 17 through 20, it became optional. So it has that, it has orange calipers, and it has Mark Levinson. So that's it. If it has the factory wheels, which it sounds like it does, it would have gray wheels. It doesn't have the split polish wheels, doesn't have the comfort and convenience package. So like the trunk mat, the cargo net, wheel locks, key gloves, all of that was not included when this car was new. It doesn't have lighted door sills. I think I said glass brake sensors. There's a lot of options this car does not have, but at least it has the heads-up display and the Mark Levinson. Carfax, Epic VIN, and Auto Check. So my 2026 Carfax shows this as a 4-owner, no accident car. My 2024 Carfax shows this as a 3-owner, no accident car. Neither of those are correct, and you'll see why here in a minute. Epic VIN shows this as a 6-owner, no accident car, also not correct. And the only one that got it right is Auto Check, and it shows it as a 5-owner, no accident car. Clean title, no accident. Florida, Georgia, short-term in Maryland, and Tennessee car. So it is a 5-owner, clean title, mostly southern states car. So we'll get into that here. Previous sales. So this car first went on sale in February of 2017, $87,500 in Florida, and it sold in July of 2017. So about 5 months for sale. And it looks like it sold to somebody in Florida as a lease, and then it was returned around 30,000 miles 3 years later. August of 2020, $50,000 with 31,000 miles, again in Florida, and it sold in September of 2020, so about a month, to a buyer in Georgia, which would be the second owner. May of 2022, $59,000 with 51,000 miles in Georgia, and it sold in about a month in June of 2022, again to a buyer in Georgia, so that would be the third owner. August of 2023, $52,000 with 61,000 miles in Georgia, and Carfax missed this one, and it sold in about October of 2023 to a buyer, so about 2 months, to a buyer in Maryland, and that would be the fourth owner. And then on Club Lexus in October of 2024, and Facebook Marketplace and elsewhere, $49,000 in Maryland, and that would be, he actually stated in that ad he was the fourth owner, and it sold to the current owner in Tennessee in about a week or two. So, you know, these cars were heating up at, 2024. This is when the demand got incredibly high for them. And so that's where this owner acquired it. So the asking price at the time was $49,000 with about 67,000 miles on it. So now into the photos. Overall, this car looks extremely clean, especially considering it's pushing nearly 100,000 miles. First, on the interior, I see the passenger side front door. The carbon fiber trim is starting to delaminate, so of course that will continue to grow, and so that should be something that you'll have to address later down the line. You can send it to a place like SMA Fabrication. I have a discount code, AllThingsF, and you get 10% off your entire order. For a couple $100 instead of over $1,000, you can have it refinished and it will never do it again. Not a sponsor, but I use them on both of my cars to refinish the carbon fiber bits. The rest of the interior looks great. The touch points, I don't see any photos of the driver's seat bolster, so I would ask for more photos of that. But the armrest, the steering wheel, the rest of the seats, everything else looks pretty good overall. As far as the exterior is concerned, the walk around video that the seller offered, I see on the front lip it's pretty chipped up. So the carbon fiber, the clear coat on it's starting to delaminate. I'm not surprised at all to see that. Car probably doesn't have paint protection film, and so that would be something you'd probably look at refinishing. It's kind of a big deal to do it because you have to pull the bumper, you have to pull the grill surround, you have to take the grill apart just to get to that bottom piece. But that is, again, another something you could send off to SMA Fabrication, and for a couple $100 instead of, we've talked about what that piece cost. At a minimum, that piece is like $7,000 if you buy it new from the Lexus dealer. So for a couple $100, you can have it looking like new and then get paint protection film on top of it so it'll stay looking like that. But the other thing I see is the rear brake rotors are on backwards. They're on the wrong side. The top of the rotor slot should be facing to the back of the car, and you can see in the photos here it's facing to the front. So obviously it's on the wrong side. Easily fixable, but these brake rotors are directional, and it's the way they dissipate heat and draw in. They are directional. I'd say overall I'm not really seeing much else. It looks pretty clean, and just inspect it in person, or get some more videos, some more photos of the exterior. As far as modifications go, the previous owner in the Lexus ad, it said it had a Gretty axle back exhaust, so it's just a set of mufflers. It's not a mid-pipe or anything, so it shouldn't be overly loud or droning or anything like that. It has a magnetic phone mount, it has ceramic tint, and it has Tom's fender accents. So that's exactly what I have on this, and the B-pillars, which is, I have those Tom's as well as those. So they're kind of like a grayish carbon fiber instead of like a dark black or something like that. But yeah, it comes with the factory wheels for $47,000 or the factory wheels alone for $45,000. So, pretty good deal. Decent mods, pretty typical mods that you see on these cars. People put exhaust on them. So as far as the price goes, there hasn't been a whole lot of 17s for sale this year. Most of them have been 2016s. 2/3 of the production was 2016, so that's kind of why that happens. But in this market that has been extremely hot the last 3 or 4 months, this would easily be with this mileage of $50,000 or $52,000 car. So basically the owner that bought this for, assuming he paid $49,000, he's basically been able to drive this car for free since he's owned it. And I think that even in the current market where I would put it at $50,000 or $52,000, priced at $45,000 or $47,000, depending on how you buy it, that is more than a fair price, and it's definitely under market for where the market is right now. So I don't think this car is going to sit around too long, even though it has almost 100,000 miles, and you would be essentially the 6th owner of this car. So now to the service history. It's a combination of dealer serviced and independent shop serviced. And so I would say no issues. So the first thing to note is on the previous for sale ad, the Club Lexus, I'm really doing the seller a big favor here, doing all the legwork for him. But the previous sale ad said that in June of 2024, it didn't say the mileage, but the car had 67,000 miles at the time, so probably somewhere around 60,000. In June of 2024, they did the front pads, paint correction, paintless dent removal, some paint touch-ups at a detail shop, and they also did all of the fluids. So that's TBD, transmission, brake fluid, oil change, coolant. All of it was done in June of 2024. So that is what you like to see. September of 2020, onto the dealer service, the JLB was done. That's the high pressure fuel pump recall. And then also the fuel sender was replaced. So that is underneath the back seat. You have to pull the fuel tank, or the low pressure fuel pump up, and it's the little thing that rises and lowers with the fuel level. One of the wires going to that or something had failed, so they replaced it. And so it's not very common to see on these cars. Other than that, a bunch of oil changes. And then in January of 2025, the big one, and you're glad to see it's done, the valley plate was done at the dealer. It was resealed. 2 carbon fiber pieces were replaced. I would assume that's the 2 pieces on the dash. And 2 HVAC servos were also replaced. And that was at 71,000 miles, so about 20,000 miles ago. And then a month later, in February of 2025, another HVAC servo was replaced. So it's got 3 of them. I think there's 7 or 9 or something like that. There's a bunch of them under there, but the 3 of them have been replaced. And so that's good to see. And the valley plate has been done. Other than that, pretty much just oil changes. And I do see on the Carfax, there was an alignment that he had done, and you could click on it and it would show you the rough alignment specs, and it looks like one of them was out of spec. And on both of my cars, so the limit on the rear camber is -2 degrees, and this one is -2.1, and the blue one's at minus 2.3. And that's not correctable unless you buy upper adjustable camber links. And there's SPC sells them, Figs Engineering, RR Racing, everybody sells some kind of adjustable. And this car's not lowered, but as these cars age, the springs sag just a little bit, and so the rear wheels will start to camber in, and that will eventually wear out the insides of the front or the rear tires a little bit quicker. If it's just above the limit, it's not going to be anything to worry about. And so that's, again, what I have on both of my cars as well. But that's what this alignment is showing, that's the case, is that one of them is excessively negative, and that could just be 0.1 degrees out and it shows it has failed. So I don't think that's any cause for concern, especially just physically looking at the car. I don't see it doesn't look like anything's bent or anything like that, but that would be something to just pay attention to. If you're doing a pre-purchase inspection, just look at the insides of the tires, front and rear. So what's not done? The ZLZ, so this car being a 17, it's still subject to this sticky dash, and the in-service date is July 28th of 2017. So you have until July 28th of 2027 to get the dash replaced if it is at even the slightest bit sticky. So take your finger, just kind of push hard on the dash, and if it feels like it's sticky, Lexus will replace it free of charge, no cost to you. And if you have any other HVAC servos that are acting up, that would be a pretty good time to do it because the dash is going to be out then. Being that this is a 2017, 17 through 20 had the adaptive damping shocks. Some of them leaked when they were brand new, 12 miles, 1,000 miles, whatever, they leaked. They're not overly expensive to replace, and they are known to leak. And so I don't see any history of any of them being replaced on this car unless it's been done at an independent shop or something like that. But that would be something you need to look at if you're doing a pre-purchase inspection on this car. Make sure none of the shocks are leaking. The KLG has not been done on this car, so that's the GPS location. So if that's something that concerns you, there is a fix for it. It's just not free anymore. There's nothing on brake replacement. And other than said in June of 2024, the front pads were replaced at 60-something thousand miles. If those are still, if that's still the case, then the pads probably need to be replaced on the front again. But the rotors look like they've either been machined or resurfaced, or they've been replaced, because I don't see any lips around the edges of the rotors in the photos provided. So it probably doesn't need brakes, but it could need front pads. That would be something to investigate a little bit further. The other carbon fiber pieces, other than the front two, have not been replaced, so they're all original. They would all be subject to delamination eventually, unless any others have been replaced, just not at the dealer or otherwise. But I would say overall, it really doesn't need much. And of course, the big one is the valley plate is done. So inspect the tires, do the usual things, maybe look at the drive belt, things like that. But the TVD and transmission were done 20, 30,000 miles ago. Maybe not a bad idea to do the transmission a drain and fill again, but again, it's not really necessary. And I don't see anything about the 60,000 mile service for the spark plugs being done. So I didn't see anything in the previous for sale ad, and the current seller doesn't say anything about it. So assume it has not been done unless it can be proven otherwise, and I would probably get the spark plugs replaced. So that brings me to, would I buy this car? Absolutely. In this market, I would scoop this one up as fast as you can. Despite it having almost 100,000 miles, and despite the fact that you're going to be the sixth owner, it's pretty much ready to go. You're not going to have to worry about the value a whole lot. And as you can see, the last couple owners have basically driven this car for free since August of 2020. Basically, this car has been driven for free, and it will probably continue to be the case with this car. So go buy it, go enjoy it. It looks like it's pretty well sorted. So that's what I've got for you. 2115. Thanks again for watching, guys. We'll see you soon.